Let's go.
Yes, sir.
I see you, bro. But man, I'm underdressed, good sir.
I wasn't sure you said Man Suit Monday, so I was like, let me throw a collar on. You know what I'm saying?
Saying, well, this is the Love Beyond the 14th.
Love you. Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, this is the Love Beyond the 14th right here, man. So we're gonna get it started, man. While I got my spectacles on.
Oh boy, he getting intelligent on me.
Gotta get it just a tad.
IQ spiking right now. You know what I'm saying?
That's it, man. Welcome to another Love Beyond the 14th podcast episode. I got a special guest, what I'm saying, with me on today that I'm excited to have in the building to have a conversation with. Where we're gonna talk relationships, 2025, and things we've been dealing with, what they expect, and all of that jazz. So we'll get into it. So I got a special guest and let him introduce himself for those who may not know who he is.
Yes, sir. I am Winston, and the relevance of me being here is I'm a man in 2025, and I'm out here with y'all. And
Oh,
I know I do well. Again, I do a lot of research on this stuff. I actually study at this point. I pretty much study behavior, human behavior between men and women,
okay.
because it's the most important thing in the world. Actually, it's actually the most. People think it's money. People think it's your accomplishments and your accolades. No, it's the interactions between people and or the interactions between men and women. Because, well, I'm sorry, let me be more specific. The interaction between men and women is the most interesting
Yeah,
interaction. Me and you, we just get down. You know what I'm saying? Like I met you, you was a cool, I was cool. We just get down. Now we on the we doing the thing, right?
yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
like, you introduce the women and men, and it's like boiling water. And it's like, how do we do this? So I've done a lot of research on that, and I think I can share some little bit of information.
Okay, okay. It can definitely get a little complicated when it comes to these relationships and conversations and the dynamic between men and women. So I'm gonna jump into this question. This has been my question of the year. Um,
Okay.
from your opinion, and I'm gonna have you go in whatever direction you want to, because whenever I ask this question, people only think of one thing,
Hmm.
but don't give the first thing you think about. Maybe give the second thing you think about. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Um, in your personal opinion, what is the benefits of attraction?
Oh man, that's where it is right there. Listen to me. Um, I'm gonna go somewhere that I hope nobody that you've talked to has gone with this one.
Okay.
But attraction is a superpower. Attraction is a superpower.
Explain.
You can do anything with attraction because you get perks when you're attractive. People treat you differently. They hold the door open for you, even as a man. You know what I'm saying? Like a woman, that's a whole other thing. You know what I'm saying? They get the world just because they're attractive. But attractive men can also obtain the world, and they get it being attractive. And again, that doesn't have to. You don't have to be the most handsome guy. You don't have to be Denzel. Will Smith and all these people to be attractive. There's so many things you can do to be attractive besides just having being born with the face. Being born with the face doesn't mean it's not the only thing that you need to be attractive, but being attractive, obtaining the things that make you attractive, gives you more and more power, more and more. Uh, what's what I'm looking for? It makes people gravitate towards you, which is another word for attraction. But people give you things. People they want to be around you. They find reasons to be around you. They invite you places. They want to do business with you. Um, building your attraction is super duper important, and people you can do it. Everybody can do it, but people don't think about it like that. They just think, "Oh man, I'm unlucky. I wasn't born handsome. I wasn't born tall. I wasn't born super muscular or something like that, and so I'm not attractive." Stop it. Get attractive. Become attractive. Do it. You need it.
Yeah. I'm glad you said that, because again, people only think of the physical aspects when it comes to being an attractive person, when it's so many other avenues to being attractive.
Mhm.
So like the things that I think, that's why I want you to answer the question the way you answer it before I gave like my spill on it, just so I can kind of get your thoughts on it. Because the other things of attraction, you kind of named pretty much all of them for the most part. Besides physical attraction, is somebody being spiritually attracted to you, mentally attractive to you, emotionally attracted to you, financially attracted to you,
Yes.
relationally attracted to you. Um, and I think that's all of them. And so when I think about it, you think about the financial aspect. Obviously, it's the hey, this person got a lot of money. We can do things together. We can go out. We can go travel outside the country, outside of the city, and stuff like that. The relational attraction is a lot of times about the connections. All right, we have relation attractive, meaning that hey, now that I know that the people are drawn to you because the way you do business, then when by me connecting to you means I can build a connection and kind of get what I want and different things like that. And people don't always look at it from that aspect. They don't think about the physical.
Yes, like I said, I really like this topic because the thing about attraction is it doesn't always have to be sexual. It doesn't always have to be romantic. Being attractive attracts people, attracts things. Being attractive to other men doesn't mean that I'm not trying to get with this guy, but being attractive means can also mean like being likable, right? Very simple. It's very simple topic. Way to approach it. So being attractive is something like I said. Another way or another word you could substitute that attractiveness is kind of like charisma.
Yeah.
Building up your charisma is again it's kind of the two sides of the same coin. If you have high charisma, you have high attraction, or you become very attractive because of your charisma, being a charismatic person. The best teachers are very charismatic. There's churches called charismatic churches. You know what I'm saying? It's because those type of people draw in people, and they're easy to listen to because they do a lot of things that are attractive. So being attractive is just another way to it's easier for you to get your point across when you're attractive. It's easier for you to sell something, or it's easier for you to get a job, or get a teammate, hire somebody, get hired, all that type of stuff. Attraction always helps. People just like you when you're attractive.
Yeah. And it's funny because I'll tell a short version of a little bit longer story. When you had spoke a little bit about benefits that come with attraction, right?
Mhm.
You talk about specifics, and I remember a particular story when I was working at this clothing store. This young lady came in and she wanted to try something on, and so I automatically took her to the big room. I didn't take her to a regular room. I took her to the big room, and after I did, I had thought about it. And I was like, dang, I was like, why did I do that? I said
Yeah.
because I thought she was physically attractive. I gave her the perks of it. You know what I'm saying? Versus taking her to a regular room. So when she came out, I actually had a conversation with her about it. I said, it's interesting. I said, can I be honest with you? She's like, yeah. I said, when you came in, I didn't take you to a regular room. I took you to the big room because I thought you were visually attractive. It's like I made your what's the word? I told her I made her the a victim of pretty privilege.
Hey, that's a real thing.
And so her response was like, it's crazy that you say that because like there's people that have they automatically assume that I get certain perks just because I'm considered pretty. I have friends that sometimes they hate on me because of that. It's weird. It's like there's perks that come with it, but then you also come with sometimes fake friends and stuff like that. So it's funny that you mentioned that. So we had a whole conversation about it in the
Mhm.
summer.
Yeah, I think especially when it comes to women or people, I'm to the point where it's just a statement at this point, right? Hey, you're attractive. It doesn't mean that uh, it's just a statement. I'm not saying that you're higher than me or anything like that. I'm not putting you on a pedestal. You're a good looking person. That's all there is to it, right? It's just a fact. You know what I'm saying? It's not like, oh, you're ugly. Come on, dude. Nobody believes that. You know what I'm saying? So, but at the same time, your looks is just a thing. It's not a big deal unless you're able to leverage yourself, you leverage those looks because of, a good attitude, or a good attitude is a really good place to start. You know what I'm saying? Like a pleasant person that's attractive. Oh my goodness. I've met, even unattractive women with a great attitude are attractive still. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? Like people always ask the question, "Oh, how did he get with her? She doesn't look. They're not even in the same league." It's well because she's attractive in different ways. Like you said, that's it. The fact that you were able to have that conversation with that girl. She probably had a great attitude, and that means that it was like, oh, I can talk to her. She's not, automatically assuming things about me just because of a man talking to her. And we both, I said she was attractive, and she didn't go into this, because when you go there, people just kind of go into a mode, and it's like, no, I'm just approaching. We're just having a conversation about it, and
yeah,
that shows a lot of maturity on both y'all end to be able to acknowledge that. But it's just a thing, being attractive is something that is very fickle. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to be attractive all your life. You know what I'm saying? You can be attractive one day and not attractive the next, and then what you gonna do? So being attractive is just it's a small ingredient that you can do a lot with. It's kind of like MSG. I don't know. I'm a cook, so I like MSG is something that enhances flavor. So it's kind of like salt. You know what I'm saying? Like being attractive, it enhances what you got going on, but you can't lean on it 100%.
That part. Yeah, and you're right though. I would have to agree. I was like, yeah, definitely. Now I look back on it, it really was a mature conversation, and she could have, she could have went way left with it. But what's interesting is that with that acknowledgement, I didn't have anything that I didn't have an agenda with that. It was just a conversation, and she didn't treat it as if like she knew I was going to ask her for a phone number or something like that, and she didn't get offensive. We had the conversation. She moved on after that. But I
Yeah.
also didn't want nothing from her, even though we had that conversation. But I feel like sometimes when that happens because the dynamic of the relationship between men and women when those type of scenarios happen, there's always an agenda with it. So like women automatically get like defensive, like no, I don't want to talk to you anymore. And now you're saying that, now I know you're trying to get with me and this and that. We can't just have a conversation. So it's just interesting how that happens. How do you feel about? Have you run into any women that have been defensive like that? Like we had conversations, like whoa, like it's not even the way I was trying to go with it. I was just having a conversation.
Not me, but again, that's because
He's like, well,
not
not me. So
not me. But that's because I've trained in these in making sure that doesn't happen. I got a lot of experience before. Okay, let me be. I guess not now, right? Maybe back then, before I obtained a lot of skills and did research, and you know, just started understanding what it takes to be able to not get that response, because that is kind of in your control. If you get a bad response like that, you probably came off a little bit too aggressive, or maybe you came off um, a little like you know like a the guys that whistle at the girls when they walk
yeah,
past the construction yards on that. You know what I'm saying? They cat calling. You come off as you trying to cat call her. Just treat her like a person, bro. Like that. When I started treating women like people instead of like, oh my gosh, she's a princess. Oh, are
yeah.
you okay? Can I speak with you? Getting all small, making myself small and all that type of stuff. No. Walk up on me like, what's up, yo? I got a question about X, Y, and Z. What you got? What you know about it? Oh, I don't know anything. Well, okay, that's cool. Peace. Or we have it back and forth, and it's like, if there's something there, then I'll explore that. But if there's not, then I'm gone. And it's hey, well, I appreciate your time, and thank you for not treating me like a lot of people get treated. But nah, I don't get that response. Like I said, I know a lot of guys who do, and I feel bad for them. And I know that it's not if they just knew what I knew, then they could enjoy having conversations with women.
Yeah, because it really doesn't have to be that complicated. But not taking away the agenda really did a lot for me in building like relationships and just having like casual conversations with women. Because back in the day when I was just this guy was just trying to hump everything moving, what I'm saying? I came off like I was trying to hump everything moving, so they knew what it was from the jump. Like, no, I'm not giving this man no time. But as soon as I took away the agenda, I feel like it made it for me easier to be able to have like conversations with women. And if there was more, then maybe is to explore. But you want to make to the man and be like, all right, well, can we exchange numbers or can I get your information and stuff like that? Then you know for sure that I'm definitely interested. But just casual conversations, you know what I'm saying, can just be a casual conversation and you don't have to like necessarily look at it like it's gonna be something big or bigger than what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. It's You don't have to approach women like you said. I think on Bad Boys 2 is like Mike, you the pit bull with the pink thing hanging out. You know what I'm saying? You don't got to do that because you don't even know if you're interested. We're just checking to see. It's a temp check. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, you're attractive. I think you're attractive. You get over there, you're like, oh, what's next? This is not what I'm interested in. So
Yeah.
you out of there. But I mean, you just go in there and just get going on. Just say, what you got going on? My name is Winston, and for some reason I'm over here talking to you. So what's up? You know. But the agenda, it, man, just when people start thinking with the upper brain, is you know what I'm saying, your field of vision gets so much bigger. But again, I don't fault men for that because it's a simple phase that I think almost every man goes through. The first phase is being a simp. You know what I'm saying? Like I said before, almost every guy I know has seen a cute girl, put her on a pedestal, and was like, yo, please, I don't want anything to defile this being. You know what I'm saying? And then the next phase is okay. you get through that phase, and now it's like, yo, I need something to run down now. I don't care what it is. Some guys got low standards, so it's like if it's moving and I know it's not a man, what's happening? Okay, some guys get at you like that. I'm like, whew, you got to chill now. And
That
then
part, bro.
when after that, I think most guys get stuck there. To be honest, I think like 90% of guys kind of get stuck in if that female shows me attention, then I'm very happy about it, and I'm trying to go further. Versus,
So let me ask you this then. I'm glad that you brought that up. So in your opinion, why do you feel like guys get stuck in that 90% and they just never move past that? What do you think it is?
that's it. I like that question, and it's kind of a sad question because we don't we don't have good teachers here. There's a few things that we don't have teachers for. We don't have teachers for how to get past that stage, because first of all, a lot of guys don't get past it, and then when they do, they don't know how to teach it. Right? It's just,
Mm,
oh yeah, I'm just natural. I'm just naturally appealing to women. So but what are you doing? Right? And they can't explain it, so it can't get shared. Another thing that we're not taught, and I'm talking about men, like just men, is long-term relationships. Men do not understand how to care for a long-term relationship. And another reason for that is all the people who are in long-term relationships are old as heck. And they don't want to talk about it. They're 80, they're 70, 80, and
yeah.
they kind of didn't even know. They kind of just either got lucky, or, they just like they found a partner and there's a great vibe, and it just kind of doesn't work out. Neither one of them are confrontational, and they just kind of just work it out naturally, and it just kind of just works. I got a friend like that.
Dang.
Uh, where the people who do it purposefully, maybe again, they might tell their circle, but they're not teaching it, and there's no material on it. So those are two things that men really struggle with. Like I said, is getting through the horny dog phase, and the second thing is caring for a long term relationship.
Mm. I kind of feel like a lot of those people who don't teach it, they probably don't teach it because they just don't want people in their business.
Well, you gotta be vulnerable, because you're gonna say some things about yourself whenever you because you got to say, hey, listen, I give her these things out of myself, you know, and a lot of times, guys, that doesn't feel very manly for us to talk about the things you got to break down and break away to be kind of become give yourself a level of vulnerability that your woman can attach to. Because guys come out, they're so hard, they're coming out like Arnold Schwarzenegger, I'm the Terminator, you know what I'm saying? They come out like that. Ain't a woman that care about that, you know what I'm saying? Like, they want a little bit of that, but they also want to know the rest of you. And a lot of men don't want to share that because of trauma before, whether childhood or relationship or whatever the case is, and they kind of keep their women at arm's reach, and that's kind of where you can't really go too much deeper if you're gonna do that. So, but you got you to let somebody in, and then for me to tell you about it. Now you can see my vulnerability as well.
Yeah, that's interesting. So what would be the third step? So we had talked about the first one, the sim stage, and then the second stage. On that third, so on that third stage, what's the third stage in your opinion? Is that the
The third
that,
stage is kind of like it is what it is. I don't really have a name for it yet. Cause okay, so like I said, the first stage is simp, the second stage is the horn dog, the third stage is kind of like you kind of hit this equilibrium where it's just like, yo, bruh, I'm gonna do my thing regardless. You
yeah,
know, it's kind of like it's not quite that you gave up, because a lot of guys, when they feel like I'll quit, I'm out of the game. There's a lot of young men like that right now. Where they've detracted themselves from the game, and that's really bad because now they have no motivation for life, right? Like I said before, the most important interaction is between a man and a woman. That's the inspiration. That's why we have testosterone. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why we have a urge to be around women. It's natural. And the more masculine you become, the more you realize, man, I can show you a little bit of feminine energy. You know what I'm saying? I ain't even talking about feminine touch. I'm talking about just being around a soft woman
oh man, that
with a
part.
presence. You know what I'm saying? A good presence. But like I said, the third stage usually is just like, because like I said, a lot of guys give up, but a lot, like I said, it's not, yo. I'm gonna do my thing, and if I run into her, I'm happy, and if I don't run into her, I'm still content. So maybe I would name it contentment.
And
Is the third stage is just being able to be happy as an individual, a single individual. Um, and, in fact, I will name it that. Yeah, being content whether you're in a relationship or not will be
yeah.
the third stage because you can really improve on that from there.
Dang, a lot of men don't get there. And some men, and I even noticed like some men even get married in both of those stages. They get married in the simp stage, or they get married in the horn dog stage, and still, you know what I'm saying, and just be they life be messed up. They don't be they don't find that contentment. You know what I'm saying? They don't find that contentment at all. They don't really know who they are, so they get stuck in that position, and they be messed up. It's
Well,
crazy.
you said it. You said it perfectly. They don't know who they are. And for me, whenever I got to my level of contentment, I did a lot of exploring of myself. I was
Yeah,
like, man, what are the things that I don't like about myself that I need to fix? What are the things that people have told me, multiple people? Now,
yeah,
now I'm talking about individual accounts, from my mama to my coworker to my friend from high school, to a random individual. You know what
yeah,
I'm saying? When you get a large sample size of people telling you the same thing, and it might not be a good thing, but you're getting it from multiple people and they have no reason to collude
yeah.
on the same topic,
True.
you might want to look into that. You
Yeah.
know. So like I said, but it ain't always got to be a bad thing too. Because in my level of contentment, I started looking at people who was having success in relationships, and I said, okay, I'm gonna study them and I'm gonna figure out the things that are working for them, and I'm gonna either incorporate it now or have my mind ready for it whenever it needs to be applied.
Mm. How important, in your opinion, how important is healing after a relationship, um, before jumping to another relationship?
Oh, it's super important. You got to heal because uh, resentment is nasty. Resentment is nasty. Unforgiveness is just as nasty. Uh, my ex, oh man, that was a great experience because she took me really high and she crushed my bro. She crushed me at the end of the relationship. I didn't know, man. I thought I was dying. You know what I'm saying? It's just, oh,
It
everybody's always dramatic at the end of a
really
relationship, but I
emotionally.
thought I was dying. I was like, yo, I can't breathe. I can't do this. Can't do that. And then it took me quite a few years to forgive her because I was with her for quite a few years. But once I forgave her, um, I was set free. And I know it sounds cliche, but whenever, let's say, for example, you slight me or something like that, I'm like, okay, well, somebody, I tend to play the event over and over and over in my head sometimes, and I just get lost in it. And it's like, now it's 2 years later, I'm still angry. I'm still sitting here like, man, I can't believe she did me like that. Well, when you forgive her and you get to that point, it's like, hey, do you remember you forgave her? Let it go, bro. And it's like, if you really did forgive her, you can let it go. And now I can be healthy when I move forward.
Yeah, that's powerful. Because people hold on to those things for so many years, and it always damages like the possible next relationship. And because you're operating with like with damaged eyes and with a damaged perspective, even if something good came in your life, to collide with you in a good way, like you got a brick wall to stop it from really going through and helping y'all build something together. So people be missing out on good things because they be hurt and they ain't healed yet. And
Man,
the
I'm gonna
healing
tell you,
process is different.
my
And how
bad. My bad. I didn't want to cut you off. My bad.
No, you good. Everybody's healing process and how long it takes is different. But that's why I tell anybody that's really hurting, like you need to grieve that thing. Like don't hold on to that pain, no matter what it is, because the longer you hold on to it, it's not helping you. It's just that cliche. You drinking poison, hoping that it hurts the other person. It's like no, it don't work like that.
Yeah, yeah. Uh, no, it's pretty. People people don't people that are in a toxic state cannot. It's very hard for them to process a good thing
Mm,
because people really get comfortable in that toxicity,
they really do.
and then you be like, you'll meet a nice lady and you'll treat her good. She'll be like, why you treat me so good? You know what I'm saying? She offended because she ain't never seen it before. She never really experienced it, or maybe she forgot about it. Uh, me and you, we work out. A lot of people were in bad shape whenever they in a good shape, and their body hurts because it's correcting itself. The
Yeah,
corrective process is generally painful, but if people don't want to deal with that pain because it's something that they're not used to. So they'll revert back. It happens in diets, it happens in relationships, it happens in a lot of things whenever there has to be a change. But no, you got to go through that pain of change, and then on the other side of it, you're gonna be like, man, I can't believe I was stuck down there. People with bad posture, they straighten out their back, and their back hurts when it's in the proper position until they get used to it. It's crazy.
Yes.
People they eat fiber. People eat fiber and their stomach changed, and it's like, oh my gosh, I'm hurting. No, this is how you've been sick this whole time, and now you're healthy. You know, so get people. Yeah, you got to heal. You got to forgive. But I think the first step to healing is forgiving.
Yeah.
But that's again, us men, we don't like to do that because it doesn't. It feels like you didn't get your lick back. You know what I'm saying? I didn't get my revenge. So and I'm unsatisfied because she did me a certain way, and I'm not able to express it the way I want to. But nah, we're Christians. The Avenger is up there. He handles that. If there needs to be avengement, otherwise let it go. Just let
Yeah.
it go.
Yeah, and that's exactly right. And so it's sad that we be wanting to hold on to that, but if you just again if you just let it go, you do yourself so much better. And I always tell people, I was like, man, you I think we think that when people do things that they get away with it, and if like even if you don't get caught, you don't get. I don't believe you get away with anything in this world. So if you run around just mistreating people, you do reap what you sow. So like you're not really gonna get away with it. Even if it's even on the surface, it seems like you get away with it, and nothing happens to you. 5 6 years down the line. But those people will run into somebody just as equally as toxic, and they gonna end up dealing with some of the same stuff, if not worse.
Yeah.
And so like, and that's why, and with realizing that for me, it's like it's gonna be dealt with. So let me just move forward and handle my business, and just let God do what He do. What I'm saying, dealing with them, and
Yeah.
let me keep my hands clean.
Yeah. Because you're building bad habits. Bad habits they're gonna show their results at some point. You know, if you sow good seed into people, regardless of how they treat you, you're building good habits. You're building resilience. That's a word people don't like. Is resilience. You know what I'm saying? Like the ability to tough it out when it sucks. You know, but most people, one thing people need to understand is that most people, and by most I mean like 90+% of people, are not bad people. They're not out to get you. Nobody wants to hurt you. I told this young man the other day, I said, nope, ain't no grown man trying to fight. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. Like me, I'm 38 years old. I'm in good shape and I am strong, but I don't want to fight. Why do I want to fight? There's too much to risk. I got stuff to lose. Any responsible man is not ain't got time for that. I don't got time to get hurt. I don't got time for the police. I don't got time to go to court. I don't got time for none of that. Even if I can beat you, even if there is no real big threat to me, but no, people, men do not want to fight. What if I pull a muscle? Nah, I can't do my job correctly. Now I'm in pain. Blah blah blah. Nobody wants to fight. Nobody wants to hurt you for the most part. But you do need to be able to see and discern. That's a very whenever you improve your discernment, you can understand. You know whether you're in danger or not. But for the most part, you're not in danger. Like we're in America, bro. Like be cool. Unless you're in the ghetto or if you're in a dangerous place, then maybe keep your head on a swivel. But if you're in a upstanding area, man, be cool, relax, man. Can't take people places sometimes though.
No, for real. Yeah, people. Yeah, they take that just a little bit too serious. It's like, man, you just gotta chill, man.
Yeah,
You
be
know,
cool.
some of the best, I would say, worst advice that I feel like I've gotten, because you had complimented something I said earlier, but like some of the worst advice we give people sometimes is just be yourself. But that doesn't mean anything to anybody who don't know who they are though. So if you tell
Yeah,
somebody to be yourself and they don't know who they are, then they don't know what that means. They just as lost as before you gave them that comment.
yeah, for sure. Be me. I told people at the end of one podcast, I was like, stop being trash or something like that. That's way more productive than be yourself. Because being negative, being trash, right? We know what that feels like. Be positive, you know what that feels like.
Yeah,
So be yourself, unless you're like an incredible guy that everybody's like, oh my god, I love your presence. Oh yeah, keep doing that,
yeah,
But if you're somebody who's quote unquote invisible, there's a lot of invisible people. Um, being yourself is not going to give you a visibility. People are not going to see you or acknowledge you. So being yourself is not pointless. Is kind of pointless. In fact, I would tell people to be the person that stands out the most around you. Be them. Be
Mm,
them. That's what I did. I learned I learned from a lot of celebrities as far as ways to be more attractive, be more commanding, extend your presence. You know, there's people that just have a presence. You see them, people stop what they're doing and look like, dang, okay. You know what I'm saying? They just check you out because of your aura. You know, that's what the young cats are saying. We aura farming. They need to aura farm and get your aura up. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So be that. Get your aura up. Don't be yourself if you're not doing if you're not really popping like that.
yeah. No, that definitely makes sense. That definitely makes sense. See, that's good, man. That's good. So I think, man, I think we're gonna end this conversation right here. I think this was good, man. I think I learned some stuff from you, and I appreciate it. So I definitely be running this back. Like, what can I learn out of this? And I'm hoping that the audience can learn something out of it too. I appreciate those who decided to go ahead and follow the channel and everything like that. Definitely got more popping off and everything. So man, I appreciate you, Winston.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah. Y'all take it easy.
Yes, sir. Man. God bless y'all. There you go.